welcome to episode 6. It's very loud here today, so we'll do a little bit of voiceover. See, the trucks are running, the harvest is on, fans are blowing. It's very loud. So on episode 6, what we've done is we've installed solar panels so far. It's been about a week since I filmed, but you see how dirty they are already. That's from all the dust from across the street. Corn dust. And that corn's not harvested yet. Almost. Well, probably about half of the harvest is in now. I would think, something like that. So in this episode, we're gonna wire the solar panels into here. We're gonna go right through that plastic cap right there. You see it's been repaired. There's some issues with it. I'm just gonna leave it like it is. I may have to order a new cap sometime in the future. I'm just going to drill straight down with the solar panel wires to bring them in here, and then I'm going to put the charge controller right over here, and that's going to do let's be the first part of this video, and I'll bring you back in a minute. Okay, let's talk a little bit about wire and installing solar panels in a vehicle. So vehicles go down the road and they vibrate. So anytime you have vibration and metal and wire combining, you want to use something like this. It's a little grommet. So, and grommets come in different shapes and sizes. This one has I don't know if it's focusing very well, a little groove in it. They're rubber. They have a little groove in them of different sizes, so you can get grommets in varying sizes at the hardware store. So, you know, the holes are different, the circumference is different, diameter inside, diameter outside is different, and the little groove's different. They're all designed to protect wire when you put it through a metal surface, or in this case we're going to go through a plastic surface, but it still needs to be protected from chafing some way. So that's what we're going to do. Now let's talk about wire. How much current am I going to carry from those solar panels down to my controller, and how much voltage drop am I willing to live with? So I would like an inconspicuous wire, so the smaller the better. I'm going pretty much straight down, so it doesn't really matter, you know, what it looks like. But I'm going to use this wire. I believe this is 10 gauge wire. I've used it before on solar panel installs. It's got the connectors on it already. So I'm just going to sort of recycle this wire. It's plenty, it's more than I need actually. And this is going to take the current from the solar panels to the charge controller. Okay, here's all the tools I'm going to take up there with me. Hopefully I don't have to run up back and forth. I need to clean it well before I do some things. So here's all the tools I'm going to take up there. I'm going to take this wire. I decided on this wire because that's red and black. It's an assortment. I've got some wire cutters, some wire trimmers, some of these little black tabs, along with some zip ties. These are adhesive on one side, and then you can put a zip tie through there, and that'll hold the cable in place up there. I'll show you. I've got a MP4 tool, connector tool, grommet, some of that accordion stuff, my drill, and a step bit, and some things to clean up. Everything goes in a tray and all goes up there at once. Other thing I'm going to need will be some sealant. So I'm going to drill, I think, right here. There's already some damage right here. doesn't leak somehow. But I've got to get some sort of a black sealant to really go after this and fix this well. I think it's just got tar on it now, and then there's some other stuff they put on there. It's all failing now. I get some black silicone or something come up here. I think because of the noise, I'm going to set you up differently on it with a camera phone camera. Well, now I'm in voiceover because the wind is bad and the cell phone microphone doesn't pick up well, so I just turn it off. It doesn't do well. So here I'm cutting off the factory connectors, MC4 connectors that come on solar panels, and I'm drilling a hole through the plastic cap. It's ABS plastic. It's the same thing that, you know, the remote controls are made out of, or you know, a lot of cell phones are made out of ABS. A lot of auto parts are made out of ABS plastic. Anyway, the step bit didn't quite make the hole big enough, and then on the inside of this cone there's some duct tape that the previous owner had put there to facilitate this repair from this cracking. So here I'm trying to fit in the grommet, and I'm realizing that I need to make a little bit bigger hole. I'm trying a smaller grommet, and that's not going to work. Let's skip ahead a little bit here. Initially wired these to make a higher voltage, so in series, which increases the voltage and leaves the amperage the same. What we have is two 120 watt panels, and they're 12 volt panels, but they actually produce about 23 volts in full sun, you know. So together, when I wired them in series, it doubled the voltage up to 46, and I hadn't read the charge controller or forgot what I had ordered, but my charge controller only charges up to I think 30 volts or something like that. It's a 12 volt charge controller, so I had to redo these wires, so I had to pull them out of there, and they had been glued in already. And then I had to redo the connectors to make them in parallel, so I didn't raise the voltage of the panels coming into the controller. So the charge controller would accept the 23 volts, but it wouldn't accept the 46 volts. So, and this is 10 gauge stranded copper wire, and it's plenty. It's only going to run about, you know, a foot down into the charge controller through this plastic cone, plastic cap, and so it's got about maybe a 2-foot run to make through the plastic, and so, you know, there's no danger of it heating up or carrying too much current for the wire to handle. And then I put a 30 amp fuse in there, inline fuse on the positive side, the lead coming through the solar controller wire, and that took care of it. So these crimpers I have that's a MP4, I think is the name of it. I think they used to be called MP3s, now they're called MP4 controller connectors. And so it's a weatherproof connector that the solar panels come with, and then you can buy kits to make your own connectors, and I've done hundreds of them. These are tools that come in the kits, and they're also ABS plastic, I believe. So, you know, that's ABS plastic is made, you know, everything's made out of that stuff. I speed up the filming here a little bit, just so we don't have to bore you so much. And maybe we'll put some music on for the rest of this. I don't see that I need to narrate much. The tools you need are, you know, typical electrical tools. You need those crimpers, those MP4 tools, MC4. MP4, I think, is a music format or a movie format. I'm not sure. Anyway, rambling. And then those are some combiners down there. You see that those will take both positively. Had a drink there. Those will take positive leads, both positive leads, and combine them into one positive lead, thus increasing the amperage. I'll connect those in a minute. I think it's kind of important, kind of maybe to walk somebody through this if they've never done this before. So you crimp the wire you crimp the metal part of the connector onto the wire, and then you okay, here's those combiners. You can order those too. So I'm combining both positive leads, one off each solar panel, and now I'm combining both negative leads, I believe, off each solar panel. And so then now there's only two wires that'll be coming through the cap. So I appreciate everybody watching, and if you can think of somebody that could benefit from this video, you could forward it to them, let them know about it, share it. If you hit the like button on this, then you will certainly have my approval. Some of that goop, self-leveling sealant, I tell you what that stuff is, that white stuff. It doesn't dry very soon. It's made to spread out over whatever you're working on. And there was probably something better I could use, but that's just what I had. And I had to, you know, a lot of little places on the roof there that needed to be touched up with it. It's lap sealant. It's like a butyl rubber, but it's liquid. And RV industry uses it a lot on all the openings, like on the fans and whatever, you know, on top of the RVs. These are little adhesive discs that you can buy. They're square, and they'll accept a zip tie, and then you can clean the surface, peel off the adhesive. I think I'm going down here to get some alcohol because I didn't bring it up with me. There, I had to go get the drill, tighten that screw up. There, I'm cleaning that with alcohol. I'm going to take one of these little square discs and put it there. Take the adhesive off the back side of it, tape it down. It sticks down. They stick pretty well. I've had a few of them come off before. And then you put a zip tie through. They're made to accept the zip tie, and then you zip tie the whatever you're doing down, and it helps to, you know, keep everything in place. I've seen people use duct tape and things, and you know, it all fails eventually, and these will also fail. You know, those roofs get hot, and you know, there's the Eternabond tape. I've seen people use that, and that seems to work the best, but I've had it fail too. But you know, these seem to be neat and clean, and I could have cut the wires shorter and done probably a better job. I wouldn't have had to put so many loops in there, but this is working. Here I'm sealing up the end of the cap, I used the grommet. The wires, of course, go through the grommet, and I use that accordion like black stuff that goes around wires. I can't remember the name of it, but that went through the grommet too, so it's double shielded. And I'm done with the voiceover. And okay, it's a little bit later. Have to have some time for this sealant to set up. Let's see what the solar panels are making, as dirty as they are. Gripped on there pretty good. No way that's going anywhere. And that one too. Should be. Right. We don't want to hook anything up yet. We want to hit the batteries up first. So batteries hook up here and here, negative, positive. We don't want to hook the solar panels up first. We want to hook the battery up first. That's the one I'm going to use temporarily. It's an AGM battery. If you can see it. 12 volt AGM. In there for you. Top mounted. It's got a few years on it, but it's a good battery. I keep it on the solar charger all the time. So it's fully charged. Hard time with tools today. These connectors are a little too heavy for these crimpers. A little too big. Like playing operation with them. I don't know. I use my other one. Crimped. Pretty solid. This is negative. This one I am going to put tape around. crimped on there pretty good. We don't want to hook anything up yet. We're going to hit the batteries up first. So batteries hook up here and here, negative, positive. We don't want to hook the solar panels up first. We're going to hook the battery up first. That's the one I'm going to use temporarily. It's an AGM battery. If you can see it. 12 volt AGM. In there for you. Top mounted. It's got a few years on it, but it's a good battery. I keep it on the solar charger all the time. So it's fully charged. Crimped. Pretty solid. So I wired them in series, which boosts the voltage and keeps the amperage at the same as one panel. So this is the negative coming in, the positive. They're labeled. I don't want to jostle this too much because that glue is not set up yet. The sealant is not set up yet. So let me just test the voltage here real quick. It clips. Why it's not? 22, 23, 22.9, 23 volts. Now it's time to put the charge controller up. And here it's marked. I don't think you can see it. This is a positive for the solar panel. There's a little gap. See the little gap there? So that's where the wire needs to go. Crimp an end on, just like this. And that's going to go right here. And then this one is from the alternator. So that'll come in from the trailer hitch. I'll bring it in through the taillight, you know, the trailer connector. And it'll go there. But I don't have the wire run yet. So this charger will charge off solar and off the alternator when you're going down the road. Now, it's good to have the capability of it anyway. I get somewhere and I don't have a good few days of sun, you know, I can hook it up. So, yeah, this is positive. So I don't need any more wire than that, so I'm going to cut that off there. The shorter your run, the lesser your voltage drop. Some people put a fuse in between here. I'm not going to. I mean, I probably should, but I'm not going to. So this is the positive lead coming off the solar panel. Good solid crimp. One of those torch lighters works best, but couldn't find it. It shrinks it right down, just like that. Makes it pretty much watertight. Not that there's any water ever going to get in this. It's hot. This is the positive to the battery. negative common. You can run a pigtail, and I probably should have. You can run a pigtail, you just put a bolt through here, make that your negative. You can put it through some of the steel frame members of the trailer and do it that way. I'm just making it a grounded to the battery itself, so when electrons flow from the negative post to the positive post. So yeah, they are more attracted to the positive post than the negative post. So does that make sense to you? That's how DC voltage works. The current, it flows to the negative post from the positive post. Not that it matters, but that's the way batteries work. You know, they get their electrons out of the negative post. Not many people know that. This is all interior stuff. Now, when I plug these into the battery down here, you see these lights will come on. The lights come on. Now I can plug this in. I always want to do the battery first. And solar is in. So that's the Renogy charge controller. The flashing red means I think it's charging. I think that's pretty annoying. Let me look and see. I had done a good job unboxing this for y'all. Yeah, see, they gave me battery terminals. Actually, these are the terminals for this. And they're crimp connectors. They're big, like for 6-gauge wire. I didn't need them. I think this is just 12-gauge. This must be the temperature sensor. This is supposed to go right on the battery. It's more for lithium batteries than this is an AGM battery. See, there's ports on the side there. Goes in there. One of them. BTS it says. BTS, battery temperature sensor. I just stick it right there for now. Stick it right there. Okay, I've got a lot more to do on these batteries. On this, I need to set up a whole electrical system. 22.3 right now, and you know it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3:30, and in middle October. So it's not. I mean, it's in full sun barely. You can see the shadow right there. But and the panels are dirty from the corn dust across the road. But so panels are putting out 22 point something volts, and this only handles 25 volts, so I couldn't put these in parallel. I had to put them in series. Is that right? No, I mean vice versa. I had to put them in series rather than parallel. Right? I don't know, one or the other. I had to keep the voltage up lower and the amperage higher. So what's the math? It's 200 and some watts, 240 watts max, and 22 volts. What's that divided by that? So it's about like 12, something like that, 12 amps. This is capable of 50 amps. So it's not going to get too hot. There's that heat sink in the back. It's heat sinked against the wood there. You see that? So that's enough talk about the solar for now. Now what we have to do is we have to come off the battery with a fuse panel. Now I need to put a fuse on the battery here somewhere, but like I said, this is just temporary. Okay. You don't really want to have your juice unfused. You want it fused, because it can really melt a wire, cause a fire. When you get into these higher voltages, I mean, you can weld with 12 volts of that much, with that many amps. So it'll really create some heat. And but anyway, so that's hooked up. Well, it's another day on the Tramper. Today's, I think, October 21st, maybe, something like that. So, let's just get you caught up. We've done the windows. We still need to do some caulking around the clear caulking. This is kind of my hack job that I did, cutting the window. It's my first attempt at it, and so I didn't do a real good job, but you know, it looks okay. It's kind of rough. I need to go around it with a razor blade and clean some of this up. Steel wool. Today I'm going to set up a time lapse. Here's the other window. Same sort of issues, except this one's sealed up better. I need to clean it up and put some sealant around it. This is a weep hole. These are designed to face sideways. I mean, up and down, you know, horizontal, vertically rather. And this is mounted horizontally. So, you know, the weep hole is not good. So we need to be careful not to get moisture in this. So I need to seal it up real well. Because if it does get any moisture in there, there's no place for it to weep out. It's just a trailer. I'm not really concerned about it, you know. It's just a camper. So, a few little issues where I messed up. So my craftsmanship's not the best. Now that still has to be fastened and secured. I'm still thinking about how to do that. That's in. Charging. I don't have my big lithium battery in here right now. I'll do that, you know, when I leave. This is just to set everything up. This is just a battery I have laying around. It's a AGM 12 volt battery. So, and that's in. That has to be wired up. So today the plan is to do some on this. This is a fuse panel. So that's a RV fuse panel, marine, RV, you know, the fuses go in these slots. You'll see it all. And then these reach a circuit. So you run a negative post here. One of these is a negative post, you know, and then so the light's not real good in here right now. What else? Clean some of this mess up. You know, it just gets messy. So we're gonna set a time lapse up on the roof, and then we're gonna put this cool coat on there, so it'll make the roof cooler, so the insulation will work better on hot days. So up we go with the cell phone. You guys, okay, I want to show you the solar panels. You see how dirty and dusty it gets. So the first thing we're going to do is wash this off. There's the sealant. Okay, that's set on time lapse. Hopefully that won't blow over. This sealed up well. Hopefully it doesn't get any water coming through. I ordered some tape, ordered a few things. Ordered some heavy rubber sealant tape to fix some of this stuff on these situations on this nose cone. This is just ABS plastic, I think, and it's cracked in a few places. I don't know what the previous owners have done, but I'm gonna try and fix it properly. Get some good tape. So I ordered 5 feet of tape. I also ordered a diesel heater, and I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. Maybe right inside the door here, and that needs to be vented, so I'll vent it out somehow. So when I get it and look at the design of it, I'll show you how to put that in. What else? I ordered a shower curtain, so this is going to get a sheet of insulation. This will get insulation. And then a piece of Luan paneling go over the top to make it a ceiling, a nice ceiling. Unless the insulation looks okay, I don't think it does, but I'll probably just put a sheet of Luan covering this whole thing. And I think that's all I ordered. There's 3 things: the roll of tape, the diesel heater, and the shower curtain. That will go up here, and it bends, so it was $20. Well, it probably could use a third coat, but I already put everything away, so this is what it's going to be. The leaves are falling. You know, this is just, it's nice and cool now. That's what's really important. It's not hot. So I should have taken the temperature before and the temperature after and shown you. I'm just going to touch it up here. The sun's been shining. It's a clear blue sky today. This is the man killer ladder. So I left this. See, it's hot there. It's warm. It's like, it's warm to the touch, so it's probably 110. The solar panels, you know, maybe 120. But this is cool. It's not hot. It's the same temperature as the air. So, you know, and then that got all sealed up. It looks a lot better. So I didn't paint this part here, and I don't really intend on it. But this only got one coat. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm pleased with it. It's gonna, you know, lengthen the life of the steel on top here. It's just galvanized